quite a long time, had a great career here, and I'm really happy to be here this morning to talk to you folks about police interactions, comply now, complain later. The information that we're trying to get out here is there is a time and a place to complain, and there is a time and a place to comply. And we're going to get into more of that when we get on the panel. But the first thing we want to do is we want to show you what a typical traffic stop should look like. What is the expectations of the officer? What are the expectations of the citizen being stopped? And we're putting this information out in hopes that it gives you a baseline to work off of. This is what should happen. This is what is expected. And take this information that we're giving you, and you might use it tomorrow. You might use it 10 years from now. You might pass it on to somebody that needs this information. But the point is, when we have any kind of citizen interaction, whether it's a walk-up interaction, whether it's somebody that's calling, their alarm went off, they're involved in domestic disturbance, there's a theft, or a traffic stop, whatever those interactions are, the goal from not only the police side, but also the citizen side, is that both of us should walk away from this incident. And the way that we do that is we work together. We hold our police officers accountable for certain actions and certain activities and a certain expectation of the way they act, but also our citizens also have to be accountable. So by working together and putting this information out and letting you know this is what this should look like, we're hoping that those interactions can be diffused and it doesn't become an interaction to where a use of force is necessary. So we're going to go through this traffic stop real quick. We're going to show you what it should look like. Then we're going to have our panelist discussion where we can ask questions. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
All right. Let's go, Doc. Here comes Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris, hang on, go ahead, Doc. Dr. Harris has just ran the stop sign. Oh, no, he didn't. Dr. Harris has run the stop sign, and SRO Hopkins was right around the corner. So Dr. Harris is going to get stopped, and Mr. Hopkins is going to have a word with him. The first thing Mr. Hopkins is going to do, Officer Hopkins is going to do, is, here you go, here's your microphone.
I sit him with Lewis.
He's going to call in this traffic stop. He's going to notify dispatch and tell them what he's doing, what vehicle he's got stopped, give it a description, and where that vehicle is. Go ahead.
3319 showing on a traffic stop, 600 Eagle, license plate Harris, Henry Alpha Ron Independent Sound, Henry Alpha Ron Independent Sound, a gray vehicle occupied one time.
So now dispatch is aware where Officer Hopkins is. He's at 600 Eagle. He's got a gray Brinks truck stop. He's given them the license plate. So dispatch knows where he is, what vehicle he's out with, and exactly what he's doing. He said, I'm on traffic, this vehicle, this plate, this is where we are. First thing we have to do. So if you're stopped and there is a pause from the time the stop happens to the time the officer gets out of the car, that's what he's doing. He may be putting your license plate in his computer in the car, running that plate. What's he running that plate for before he gets out? He might run that plate to figure out, are there warrants on that vehicle? Who's that vehicle registered to? Who should be driving that vehicle? Does that vehicle have insurance? So there's a lot of information that we're able to get inside of our patrol vehicle before we ever get out that tells us a lot of, is that car stolen? So there's a lot of information that we're going to get before we ever walk up to the car. So if there is that pause from the time of the stop to the officer making initial contact with you, that's what they're doing. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning. I'm Officer Hopkins, Solar Police Department. I see your license and registration, please. Insurance, actually. Car license, insurance, please.
So he's going to ask him for his license and his insurance. That's the first thing they're going to ask you for. Did he tell him why he was stopped? No, he didn't. Does he have to tell him right there why he was stopped? No. No. Hang on a second. What's the thing? Number one, we want to know who we're talking to. Who is in this car? Okay? The next thing Mr. Hopkins is going to do is tell him why he stopped. But if you get stopped and you start with, why are you stopping me? Now I'm going to go for experience here. I've been doing this 23 years. I rode a motorcycle, wrote tickets, worked wrecks, Traffic enforcement for 6, 7 years, that's all I did. Here's what we hear sometimes, Mr. Blocker. Why'd you stop me? I'm gonna tell you that in a minute. I wasn't speeding. Why, it's my favorite, why aren't you out catching robbers and murderers? Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that, please. He is going to tell you, as soon as you get your license and insurance, what you're being stopped for. Watch, I bet it happens. Go ahead.
Mr. Harris, the reason why I stopped is because you ran a stop sign at Eagle and Westmoreland over here.
I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention.
All right, if you can just remain in your vehicle, I'll be right back.
Okay, so did he tell him what he was stopped for? You had your V-View on? There you go. Is everybody familiar with the V-View? Okay, this is a V-View. That is a V-View. We are recording this two different ways. We're recording this from the dash camera that comes on automatically when the officer turns his lights on in the patrol car, the dash camera comes on. We also have V-Views, the body mic, the body cameras. Now we've had these since about 2010. We were one of the first agencies in the state to have these cameras. All of our officers have them, our code enforcement folks have them, our animal control folks have them, everybody has them. And when we're doing traffic stops, we're mandated by policy not only to have that camera, but that camera's got to be turned on. So this is being recorded two ways. That's important to know. Okay? So did he tell him why he was stopped? Yes. There you go. Now, what do you think Mr. Hopkins is going to go do? Write him a ticket. Look at that. Automatically, Dr. Harris gets a ticket. He's going to go back to his car, and he's going to run a check on him. What's he checking for? Warrants. There you go. Is Dr. Harris a wanted person? No, he's not. That's right. The answer is no, he's not. But he's going to check for warrants. He's going to check that insurance information on that car. He's got a card with him. He's going to run his license. Is Dr. Harris' license suspended? No, it's not. But the point is, we're going to check all that. We're going to look at his insurance, his license, and make sure Dr. Harris doesn't have any warrants for him, make sure Dr. Harris's vehicle is insured, and make sure his license is not suspended. Okay? So that's what Mr. Hopkins is doing back there now. Now Mr. Hopkins has got a decision to make. Is Mr. Hopkins going to write Dr. Harris a ticket, or is he not going to write Dr. Harris a ticket? I don't know what he's going to do. Not the ticket? So the point is, Mr. Hopkins is going to decide exactly what course of action he wants to take at this point. Let's see what he decides. Dr. Harris, it looks like he's writing.
I was really trying to be nice.
Let's see what he decides.
All right, Dr. Harris. Ran a check, your insurance comes back fine. You don't have any more time in other cities. But I am going to go ahead and give you a citation today for running the stop sign. This is not an admission of guilt. It's not to identify now, but with this answer, you're going to go to court and explain why you ran that stop sign. If you can sign here for me, please.
Hang on, man. Hold on.
Thank you. Here's your driver's license and insurance card back. And here's your copy of the citation. Be careful, you have to do that.
All right. So what just happened there? A lot of things, it looks like nothing, not a lot happened, but a lot happened right there. What did Mr. Hopkins do? Officer Hopkins said, Mr. Harris, Dr. Harris, I'm going to write you a citation. Okay, that's done. I need you to sign right here. Okay. Why are you signing that ticket? Does anyone have any idea why you're signing that ticket? Do what? Okay, you have, this is where I'm going. Thank you. So yelled out, you don't have to sign the ticket. Sign the ticket. All you're doing is, I'm going to tell you what you're doing. All you're doing is making a written promise. Your signature is a written promise to appear in court. That's all you're doing. You're not saying I did it. You're not saying I didn't do it. I'm guilty. I'm not guilty. Sign the ticket. That's all you're doing. I ain't signing that ticket. I'm not going to sign that ticket. I didn't do it. I'm not signing that ticket. Can you be arrested for that? Yes. Yes. You can. It's called fail to provide written promise to appear. Okay? Do not refuse to sign the ticket. Mr. Blocker is going to get into more of this with the DA's folks in a minute. Sign the ticket. Again, just a written promise to appear. Mr. Hopkins is going to give you a court date or tell you what date to contact the court. Make sure you contact the court by that date. So sign the ticket and let's get on our way. Now, Mr. Hopkins should be done with the contact. Mr. Hopkins should go away. Dr. Harris should drive off. And everything turned out well on this one because we complied. All right, when we get up here on the panel, we're going to talk about what happens when the officer doesn't do what he's supposed to do, the citizen doesn't do what he's supposed to do, and which way, and your options to what you can do in a situation where you think you might have been treated unfairly, disrespectfully, or in a way that's not, that you don't perceive to be correct. So we're going to get into that a little bit. All right, let's give Dr. Harris and Officer Hopkins a big hand. Thank you. Dr. Lamone.
To provide an introduction to the students regarding your position at the DA's office, as well as any insight that you can give them into what your experience has been with students or people of their age having any involvement in a traffic stop. Can you?
As Dr. Lamone stated, I do work for I'm an assistant district attorney in the DA's office. My role is primarily that of a child welfare prosecutor. That involves when CPS removes children from their home. I'm also a part of the juvenile division where we have a lot of juveniles, children under the age of 18 who come in contact with the law. Oftentimes, in my role as a child welfare prosecutor, sometimes some of the children who've been removed from their homes also have run-ins with the law and find themselves they can be placed in detention facilities, and also just other issues arising when they fail to attend school. That's how they come into contact with the law, or sometimes even on runaway status.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Paul Blocker. I'm the First Assistant Chief Public Defender for Dallas County. And the role that we play, or what we most often see in my line of work, is basically it starts with something as simple as a traffic stop that turns into a warrant, that turns into someone decides they want to try and run away from the police officers. So something very small and minor as a traffic ticket can actually escalate into something very major. You can go from having a Class C misdemeanor to having a felony in about 60 seconds. And so our office represents those who are in Dallas County who are charged with criminal offenses, everything from Class B misdemeanors all the way up to capital murder. And one thing that I've seen in my career is that nearly everyone who enters the system has at one point or another had some run-in with the law at a very low-level offense, starting with a traffic ticket. They don't take care of the traffic ticket. That traffic ticket turns into a warrant. You're riding around with your friends, the music's too loud, you're after curfew. Next thing you know, you're getting pulled over. Things turn into a situation where, well, why are you stopping me? Why are you doing this? Well, I think it's no weed in the car now. There's a warrant. You get arrested, and then that turns into something that it didn't need to turn into. That's a typical scenario for a lot of the cases that we encounter with the public defender's office. Traffic ticket, arrest subject to a warrant, and you wind up downtown Frank Road.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Elissa Webb. I'm a prosecutor with the Dallas County DA's office in the misdemeanor section. So what that means is I'm dealing with lower level offenses, anything from Class B, as Mr. Blocker mentioned, possession of marijuana, up to Class A assault, including domestic violence. I actually work in a court that focuses primarily on domestic violence, domestic abuse, and family violence. I'm going to go a little off script a second. Is this the class of 2017? Is that who we have here with us today? Yeah, that's the best you guys can do. I'm asking. Is this the class of 2017? We're going to see a show of hands. Who already knows what they're going to do the year after they get out of high school? All right. Go ahead and stand up if those plans include going to college. but anybody going to the University of Texas at Austin? Couple folks? All right, thanks for the gun and have a bright future ahead of you. A little bit about what I see on a day-to-day basis. Like I mentioned, the family violence, and what that means is two folks that are either dating, related, or living together decided that they didn't learn the rules in kindergarten and they were going to put their hands on each other. Okay? Today we're going to be focusing mostly, I think, on traffic stops and kind of how that can go sideways. The one thing that I really want each of you to take away from this is there's, in any given situation, one thing you can control. Can anybody guess what it is? I'll take a shot at from the audience.
Yourself, your behavior.
Yourself. Your attitude. Your attitude, right? So we watched kind of the mock pull over, and I'm not really sure why your principal is driving a brake security truck, but that's how he rolls, awesome. And everybody was polite to one another and professional. But I think you're going to hear from some of the officers, and maybe you guys have had your own experiences where the people you interact with on a day-to-day basis, they're not so polite and professional, right? But the one thing that you can always control is your attitude, because I can guarantee you, I've read hundreds of police reports, both as a prosecutor and actually previously as a public defender working in Mr. Blocker's office. Never did I ever read a report where the police officer said, you know what, that kid was a total jerk, so I let him go. No one's ever said that, okay? So I just want you guys to keep that in mind as you finish up your senior year and move forward onto your future plans.
A few years ago, in response to a situation that occurred in a neighboring city, those of us in the public defender's office were prompted, we were compelled to put together a document, and we titled it Guide to Interacting with Law Enforcement. Too often we see, and we're familiar with the stories about how minor interactions with law enforcement can wind up with catastrophic consequences for the citizen, in some cases for the police officer. So what we wanted to do was put together a little packet. It's about 4 or 5 pages long. That is a guide to successfully interacting with law enforcement. In this wonderful mock arrest, there were everything was imperfect. The goal is for the citizen, for the person who was stopped, as well as the police officer, to go home. At the end of each day, we all want to go home. The police officer wants to go home, wants to go back home to his family. I want to go home to my family. And so the first thing that you're supposed to do, or you want to do in a traffic stop is what? Be cool. Be cool. Be calm. When you're calm, you think clearly. When you're calm, you are in your right frame of mind, and you're able to make the best decisions possible. When you have a calm demeanor and posture, when the officer approaches that window, the officer is going to be put somewhat at ease also. What most citizens don't know or realize is that there are two situations in which a police officer's life is at the most, is in the most danger. One is a traffic stop. One is a traffic stop. The other is actually responding to a domestic violence call. Most police officers will encounter either violence or the end of their life in one of those two calls, a traffic stop or a domestic violence call. In a traffic stop, the police officer has no idea who you are, where you've been, what's going on. They're usually entering a situation with minimal information. And a lot of times people, when we're stopped, we feel inconvenienced. Well, I was speeding because I was already late for my last appointment, and so I'm going a little extra fast, and now I'm going to be really, really late. And so that turns into a situation of, well, why are you messing with me? How come this is going on? Why aren't you out stopping all these other robbers and murderers and everything else? The interesting thing is, most robbers and murderers are stopped or arrested on traffic stops. They're not arrested on these wonderful stakeout and surveillance opportunities. It's during traffic stops because they've blown through a red light. They've blown through a stop sign. They are doing tail light maybe out. Whatever the case may be, that's how a lot of those cases or suspects are arrested during traffic stops. Always be respectful and follow the officer's instructions immediately. Keep your hands on the wheel. If it's at night, illuminate the interior of your vehicle. If it's a situation where you think you want to go and reach for your insurance, don't do that. Wait for the officer to give you those instructions. Because they have this thing that police officers have this move or this gesture that they refer to in a lot of their office reports called a furtive gesture. Just moving around on the inside of the vehicle, and they don't know if you're reaching for a knife, if you're reaching for a gun, if you're reaching for a club, or if you're actually reaching for your insurance or some other helpful information of the traffic stop. So stay calm, number one. Number two, always be respectful and follow the officer's instructions. Don't run. I see this too many times in my profession. Don't run. You may outrun the officer on foot, but the one thing you won't outrun is the radio. There are a whole lot more officers out there with radios or the eye in the sky in a helicopter than you could ever run away from. So don't run. You've actually compounded the situation, and in some cases you have picked up a Class A misdemeanor called, not resisting arrest, but evading arrest or detention. Thank you. And if during the course of this officer trying to run you down, the officer gets injured, well, that's now a felony. Don't touch the officer. Dead serious. Don't touch the officer. That can be perceived as an aggressive action or aggressive measure. Do not touch the police officer. And don't resist. If you're going to be handcuffed and taken to jail, don't resist, because that's also a Class A misdemeanor for resisting arrest or detention. Anyone else? Should have stopped the car.
Right, what happens if you keep going when the officer lights you up?
Well, a couple of things should happen. Most of them are bad.
Is it a misdemeanor or a felony?
It is a felony if you keep driving after the officer has pulled behind you and has turned on the lights indicating that the officer wants you to pull over. That's called, well, evading arrest in motor vehicle, which is a felony. There are certain circumstances in which this could potentially be acceptable. If it's night, and particularly if you're a lady or female, and you're feel like you're in an unsafe area, slow down, put your hazard lights on. That lets the police officer know, okay, we're moving on, and they know that I'm behind them. This is not a evading or fleeing situation. And then at the first available lighted situation, a gas station, a police officer, whatever, a police station, whatever the case may be, pull over and then follow the rest of the directions. Turn on your lights, put your hands on the steering wheel, and all the rest of that stuff. Generally, most police officers are trained to recognize these signs that this is someone who's in distress and they feel that they're in an unsafe situation, and they will not take that extra step. They will say, all right, I understand, this is what's going on, and they'll proceed with the traffic stop as if all the rest of the stuff didn't happen. Thank you.
At this time, we'll prepare for the question and answer sessions. So if you all have questions, if you will go ahead and line up at the mic or raise your hand. If you